the 6 elements that will make you make success in your life. Number 1, if you're the buyer, you must have the knowledge and willingness and ability to learn all the time. I learn every day something new. I try to ask the right questions to learn. As a buyer, you can't just get the knowledge, you got to take action. The willingness and ability to set up the right structure, to take a chance and to fully engage in what you're doing is this recipe for success. And take responsibility, do not lose control, and stick to it to the end. I can't believe how many people want to tell me, I just want to set up this and give it to somebody else to do this and that. You must stay engaged at the right level of engagement. Some deals I can assign, some deals I have to be involved, especially the early stage. So the action, again, I'm going to repeat that part, willingness and ability to set up the right structure. That's why I set up funds. Because if something goes bad, the fund, we did all the disclosures. If something goes great, the upside is huge, not just for me, but for everybody. So set up the right structure, take a chance. People tell me, I'm not that lucky. Luck comes from taking a chance. So you're refusing to take it, take the chance. All right? Fully engage, especially in the early stages, and then adjust how your engagement is. Maybe you can step back a little bit so you can go get another deal or go let them do their thing. Take full responsibility. That means when something goes wrong, you got to think in 3 levels. What did I do wrong, first of all? Number 2, how about the team that I put together? What did I not give them to succeed? And number 3, what happened to the market that I didn't see? What happened to the outside factors that I didn't see? So you got to take responsibility and take control. What are the elements of control? What is the definition of control? Control, by definition, is the ability to start something, change it, redirect it, and stop it. To start again. If you can't start, you can't change its intensity, its speed, its direction, or you can't stop it, it's not in your control. Control equal money. You don't have control, you're going to lose the game. So you got to structure your deals right. That's why I say the structure is everything. And then when you structure it right, investors come in, you're in control. You structure it right, the bank messes with you, you can file bankruptcy on that LLC because sometimes things go bad. And you don't want to completely lose your life over it. Structure things right. You have the law on your side. You structure it wrong, you find everything working against you. So take responsibility, take control, and stick to it. Do not give up. All right. Next thing, you know my formula, knowledge, action. The third thing about being a buyer is you got to network. Get the right allies with whom you can exchange values for the greater good. Get the person that's going to do the work and tell them I'll give you a percentage of the gain. Get the person that's going to actually bail you out of a problem and say, I'm going to work out with you this other thing. I'm going to help you with this. So as a buyer, this is how you should think. Number 2, anatomy of a great deal is you got to, if you're the seller or if you're talking to a seller, understand your situation, or understand if they're the seller, understand their situation. They're trying to solve something. They have a goal of some sort. If you don't know what it is, you can't solve it. You can't work with them. So what's the situation? What's their priority? What's their ability to build rapport with you? Are they cooperating or are they very difficult to deal with? Ability to build rapport. Do they understand the deal or are they not that sophisticated? Is there flexibility on their part, and is there a willingness and ability to decide? Because you can have somebody, yeah, very cooperative, but they can't decide. They can't decide. They have somebody else going to make a decision. And if you're the seller, I want you to think, do you understand your situation? Do you understand your priority? Because priorities change. I went from wanting to develop a hotel to wanting to sell it to now change again my priority now. Maybe I should consider, because some other things cleared up. And what's your my ability to build rapport? I can build rapport. Somebody can insult me and I can say, okay, I can see your point. I can see why you're upset. Well, you know, I don't put my ego on the table. I like to build rapport. I like to have complete understanding. Let me ask you a few questions. You know, let's get an agreement on the reality. And I am flexible. Are they flexible? You see? And then I'm willing, I have the willingness and ability to decide. That's where partnerships are a problem. If you have a partner, you want to stay in control to be able to decide whether buying or selling. Number 3, anatomy of a great deal. The price and terms can make or break a deal. I can get such a good price that I'll give them the terms they want. Or I can give them the price they want, but I want terms, I want time to get in, fix the property and all this. It has to be not a win-win, a perceived win-win. Because if I'm perceiving I got a good deal and the seller is happy they got a good deal, that's a perceived win-win. I remember buying a property from this guy. And when I had it under contract at $1.3 million, it was a small apartment building. And then I was assigning it at $1.680 million. So when I went to the title company, I told them, that deal I just had under contract yesterday, we have a contract right here. The guy's gonna buy it from me at $1.680 million. I'm gonna assign it to him. So the title lady told me, Cherif, if they're coming in 30 days and they think they're selling to Cherif Medawar at $1.3 million and you're assigning it at $1.680 million and they see somebody else coming to the closing, we're gonna have a problem in this office. You need to have him sign this form that he's aware that you're assigning, because that's a material fact. So I had to call the guy selling to me at $1.3 million and I had to invite him to lunch. He came in, and when he sat in front of me and I told him, I have some good news and bad news. He said, what, you're not gonna buy? I already signed the $1.3 million. You said you're buying it as is. I said, no, I am buying it. I am gonna close, but I'm not the one buying. I'm assigning it. And he looked at me and he said, oh my God, can I ask you how much? I said, I don't have to disclose to you, but it's at $1.680 million. He goes, oh my God. And I thought you're an idiot. He says to me, I thought you're an idiot. I said, why? He said, because I got the deal originally at $800,000. So he perceived the win-win because he got it at $800,000, assigning it to me 3 years later at $1.3 million. But then when I advertised it, I got a call the next morning from a broker saying he has a 1031 exchange with his client that fell through and they want to buy it from me. They will not argue on the price. I had advertised $1.690 million and they will do it at $1.680 million. So that's a perceived win-win. He thought I was an idiot and I found somebody to sign, and I thought he was like flexible because he's making a lot of money. So that's a perceived win-win. So the point is, number 3, the price and terms gotta be a perceived win-win for each side. Number 4, for an anatomy of a great deal, the market trend and timing. So important. If the trend is up, then your timing is, let me get it now. Okay, now if you're getting it now, you're gonna ride the market up. If the market is down and you're selling, the trend is starting to go down, that means sell it now. And so understand, as a seller, what's your situation? Is the market going up? Then sell them on that. Sell it at the full value. Maybe sell it with a little tail end for you, that you say, I'm willing to give it to you, but you give me this later when you rehab it and do this. You see how market is key. Market can make you or break you. But it's very important to understand the trend. And how do you know the trend? Look at days on market. What's happening? Is it getting shorter? Properties are moving. Look at San Francisco. Last year, July 2024 to July 2025, it was so bad. Brokers were calling me. Everybody was calling each other. What's going on here? What's going on? It's a disaster. People going out of business. All of a sudden, the AI goes up, and now multiple offers and craziness again. Well, you could not time that market, but the trend was down. Now the trend is up. So a lot of changes. Number 5, knowing what you want and what they want and presenting it well for both sides. So I say to myself, if I'm a buyer, this is what I want. And if I am the seller for this, this is what I would want. So I can present it well for both sides. Now, if I'm the seller, this is what I want. And if I'm the buyer, this is what I would want. So let me explain it to them, both sides. The best attorneys, when I have cases and I sit with an attorney and say, this is what happened, this is what's going on. If they start telling me, but what if they say this? What if I said, that's a good attorney? Because if they can argue it from both sides, that's the rarest of all attorneys. Not charging me based on my anger or frustration or retaliation. They charge me based on the merit of the case and how quickly they can get to a settlement by understanding both sides. So get ahead of the game of negotiation and conversation, understand both sides, whether personal or professional. I want to know what they want, I want to know what I want, and I want to be able to present it well for both sides. Then knowing what you are willing to compromise makes that range of the conversation very palatable. And finally, the structure. The money is in the structure. It can enhance the leverage of the upside, it can minimize the potential downside, and it can maximize the value for all involved while protecting yourself. And when you work for the greater good, you'll find your decisions are made easily. Other people will finish the deal and will shake hands, and there will not be any tension. And if there is a lawsuit, your good intention will be apparent, will be easy to explain to the judge, and you will win your cases. So I'll recap the anatomy of a great deal. The buyer's knowledge, willingness, and ability to learn. The action that the buyer can take, and willingness and ability to set up the right structure, take a chance, fully engage, take responsibility, take control, and stick to it to the end. And their ability to network, the right allies with whom you can exchange value for the greater good. That's number one. There is a buyer for the anatomy of a great deal. There is a seller. The seller, situation, priority, ability to build rapport, understanding, flexibility, and willingness and ability to decide so the deal can get consummated. Number three, the price and terms to make it a perceived win-win for each side to be happy to move forward. That has to happen. Price and terms can make or break a deal. Number four, the market trend and timing. Ride it up, get out before it's down, and that market understanding will make it the best possible deal for you. Number five, knowing what you want, what they want, and presenting it well from both sides, then knowing what you're willing to compromise with and where the flexibility is. And finally, the structure. If you have the right structure, this is so important. It will enhance the leverage you have for the upside. It will minimize potential downside and maximize the value for all involved while protecting yourself. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your patience. It's been a crazy one. I tried to give you more than your own family member will give you.